Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Gab is bopping away. Did Jules bring you any presents back from Australia, Gab?
He did. He brought me, I think it's some sort of a rugby league shirt or something, which somebody gave him. A fan of the Gab and Jules show gave him to bring back. But weirdly, like twice we've done the show together, and twice he's forgotten it.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds like an airport duty-free quick.
No.
Is Jules a
re-gifter?
Is that what you're saying, Gab?
A gift. Giving passing the gift on to somebody else sounds more like...
Oh, it's been something that's been re-gifted, yeah? Someone's giving it to Jules. He's I don't want this. I'll give it to Gab.
Gab will do it.
Gab can take it. That'll do it. That's a man of experience there, Steve.
To be fair, Dan,
yes.
As you may have gathered, Jules wears a child size M. And
yes.
I am more of an adult, 2XL. So if I think I will figure it out if I get a little teeny tiny shirt.
Yeah, that's a bit of a juxtaposition there, isn't it? Busy day, Shaka, as always for you?
Always, Dan, always.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, very busy. Stevie, after Arsenal's win away at Crystal Palace last season, you made your infamous bet with Dan. After today's result, would you care to redeem yourself with a new bet?
I'll bet you they're in the top four.
Sorry? Oh, you better.
I'll bet you
top four, that's all right. That's okay. That buck has been very much past the dawn, hasn't it, for the moment, so that's very good.
Yeah. I've got the one with Kieran, innit?
Kieran won't remember, he'll be asleep.
Don't worry, I won't forget it.
Gab, I thought it was interesting that Paqueta was on the pitch this weekend. Do you see a resolution coming quickly for him? So am I right in saying that he's alleged to have put bets on when he would get a yellow card? Is that right?
Yeah, it's called I think it's called spot betting. I think it is. It's not alleged necessarily that he did it, but that he passed on information. West Ham, lucky for them, one of their sponsors is a bookmaker, and they actually saw unusual betting activity in Rio de Janeiro, which is, I guess, is where he's from. Luis Enrique, another player based in Brazil, in a similar situation, also getting a card that day. There's going to be an investigation, obviously, and hopefully they get to the bottom of it.
I remember Matt Letizia writing in his book that he said that he told people, like, I'm going to kick it out from the kick-off straight away, so the first throw will go to the opposition, and they make a bet on that. Because obviously he'd retired by then, so retrospective punishment. Did you ever think of doing that? No.
No. Ronnie Moran would never let you.
No, I don't think so. Nor would Eleanor if you got caught.
No, exactly, yeah.
Shaka, I celebrated my birthday on August the 16th, and I want to say thank you for showing up daily. Thank you, Shaq, for being here daily. He's working hard at the moment. I feel like I've come to know you guys, and I'm a big fan of the show. I watch it daily. P.S. Craig, stop being such a grouch towards Chelsea. He's not watching. He's off today, isn't he?
Not just Chelsea, is it?
No, just for life.
Just in general.
Just being grouchy in general, yeah. Word on the street is Stevie can sing. He can sing, can't he, Gab? We've seen him sing at karaoke. Did he?
We have seen him sing.
Yeah. Shaka, it's quite the spectacle. I
don't believe that. I don't believe that for a minute. I don't believe that for a minute.
There is video evidence, Mr. Hislop. I can tell you.
Yeah, but
I would like to see that, please.
There's one thing Dan's not telling you, though.
What's that?
Well, when I do sing and do the karaoke,
yes,
I do it for the carry-on.
Yes.
There's somebody in the studio.
No, don't throw me under the bus.
There's somebody in the studio who's very serious, who thinks he can sing, and gives it large, big time.
I wonder who it is.
Somebody seems desperate for attention wherever he is.
Yeah, somebody picks his songs out, and his face lights up after he's finished.
Did you ever think
it's the applause of the crowd at the end.
Did you ever
That's what he lives for.
Did you ever think... Shut up. Did you ever think about a career in music? Or was it always going to be football?
Oh, no. My mother used to sing on the radio when she was young.
Did she, Stevie?
She was actually offered... She was actually offered a position when she was 17 or 16 to go to Italy, to somewhere in Italy to learn how to to sing properly.
Why'd you want to go to Italy, though? Could have stayed in Scotland. Much better.
Nah, that's probably right.
Yeah. So when you say she sang on the radio, did she ring in? Did she ring in and go, woo-loo-loo? Or they got her in?
No, she used to stand on top of it and sing.
But
She did. She used to
they
sing
get her
on the
into
radio.
local radio and she'd sing?
Yeah, she would sing on the radio and she was offered to go to Italy.
That's where you got your voice from, Stevie.
Must be. Yeah.
There you go.
It's been passed down.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Go on, Gab.
No, I'm just fascinated by this wonderful, like, sort of Steve Nicol cinematic universe alternate storyline where, Mama Nicol moves to Italy and maybe meets a dashing young man and maybe Stevie ends up being born in Italy, playing for Italy, and maybe winning the 1982 World Cup.
I could have had a World Cup winners medal.
Wow, Stevie.
Yes.
But you still had your Scottish palate in Italy.
Yeah.
Was that close?
Yeah. For Gab, Gab, what's your voice like? I haven't heard you sing.
Oh, I am entirely tone deaf. I do enjoy singing, but I am not nowhere near as gifted as you, Dan.
Shaka's terrible, isn't he?
Is he? I've never heard Shaka
Shaka's,
sing.
you know when he's
No,
singing
not.
around here. There's like 2 or 3 songs that he sings.
It's glorious.
Yeah, no.
It's glorious.
No, I've never
You're
noticed.
not paying attention to it?
No.
Whistling as well. Shaka does that too much. It annoys
I
everyone.
thought he was too busy doing his thing with his... He used to do that thing with his ring.
The thing with his ring.
Aye.
What did he used to do with it?
Do you know what? It was in the other studio.
Well, when he used to spin it.
He used to spin it and try and get it on
Yes.
some part of the...
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that. I never noticed the singing.
Ah, there we go. For Gab, what do you think will... Who do you think will finish top 4 in Italy this season?
You know, it's funny. I wouldn't have thought that Napoli were likely to repeat what with Spalletti gone and King gone, and given how long it took them to win the first title, and then it took them freaking Maradona to do it, and then they have to wait another 30 years. But I really like what they've done in the summer, and right now, if you were to force me to pick somebody, I might lean towards Napoli simply because Milan have changed a lot, and it's a very young side. Juve have had to retrench a little bit, and Inter, I am not sold on the changes. Less so even now with Pavard. So I would very cautiously lean towards Napoli to repeat right now.
And then the other 3, they want the top 4, Gab.
Well, the whole entire top 4. I would probably go Inter, Milan, and Juventus.
He went all Italian.
But the transfer window's still open.
He's Italian.
And in Italy, we
He's
like
Italian.
nothing more than a bunch of deadline day moves.
Oh, we love a deadline day special. Oh, that'd be exciting. That never disappoints. Stevie, is the English FA focused on the wrong changes? The rules seem even more inconsistent than ever, i.e. handball rules, VAR interventions, and even offsides at times. While players get sent off for little to nothing, is time wasting really more important than making the right call?
I mean, it's very difficult to argue that having more time on the field, if people are wasting time, isn't a good idea. Mm-hmm. It's just unfortunate that it turns out you're playing 10 minutes extra time at the end of each half. There has to be a happy medium.
Stop wasting time during the game.
Well, yeah, I don't necessarily... The handball thing, I've completely no idea anymore. I really don't know what is and what isn't, so I'm not even going to go close to that. The other stuff, I don't really have a problem with. It's just if I can get it right consistently. That's the biggest problem.
Gab, start, bench or drop these cities to visit. London, Milan, Philadelphia.
Ooh.
Even I could answer that.
Well, it's because Gab went to college in Philadelphia, born in Milan, resides in London.
Yeah, Philly's last, isn't it?
So this is just a visit, yeah?
These cities to visit, yes.
Okay, so just to visit, you're putting me in a really, really tough spot here. I would probably say London, just because there's just so much stuff, so much volume of things to do. And I think actually I would bench Philadelphia and I would drop Milan. And the reason why is that in Milan, we've got a ton of great things to see, but unless you're with a local, you know, we don't go and cater to tourists. We haven't turned our city into some kind of tourist Disneyland like some other cities in Italy and in Spain have done. So, you know, frankly, if you're just showing up with like a little tourist app, you may not quite enjoy it as much. So,
wow.
Yeah,
that shocks a lot of people, Gab, that you hate Milan. Well, there we go.
No, I don't hate Milan. That's not what I said.
Shock me.
Yeah, what would you choose, Gab, in those
if
three?
I'm taking you around, it's going to be Milan.
Have you been to those three, Shaq?
I have not been to Milan.
Well, don't bother. Don't bother, says Gab.
Exactly.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, but exactly what Gab is saying, I think it's a huge attraction. The fact that it's not a tourist trap, that you see a more authentic
Culture vulture.
city. I
Yeah,
like
but it's
that.
not authentically very good. That's the problem.
Well,
Stop it.
I'll
We have
have
the
to take
Duomo, we
Gab's
have the
word
Last
for it.
Supper, we have San Siro. Come on now.
You've just slaughtered it,
Says the
Gab,
man
and then you
from
came him
Cornwall.
into trouble. You just...
So Philadelphia or London, then, Shaq?
London for me. I've not spent an awful lot of time in Philadelphia. I absolutely love London. And so that would get a nod.
There we go. Should VAR have a say, Shaka, when someone gets a second yellow that results in a red? It is a crucial decision and can change the complexion of the entire game, as we saw today.
I think so. I think for a second yellow, VAR can and should intervene. Listen, I understand the thinking behind it. You don't want VAR overly intervening, and so you kind of draw the line at a yellow card. And the argument being that a second yellow card, in essence, is still just a yellow card. But when I think it should intervene if it's resulting in a sending off. Absolutely.
Gab?
I agree. I think it should intervene if it results in a sending off, but not the reverse. In other words, you know, if there is a foul, which would be a second yellow, and in those cases, it shouldn't be allowed to intervene. So you know, basically, it can intervene to overturn a red, but not to give a red for a second yellow. If you see what I'm saying.
You can't have it. You can't turn round and start checking yellows after the second card without doing it for the first one. You can't do it.
People want to go to the picnic, Stevie.
Andre Ayew got a yellow card today.
Yes.
For a challenge that, in my opinion, wasn't even a foul.
Right.
So you're telling me that that's okay, but then if you get a yellow for wasting time, you want VAR to look at it?
But what did Ronnie Moran say?
Too much to tell you. Not enough time to tell you.
That is it. We're done. ESPN FC will be back on your screens tomorrow. You're in tomorrow as well, Stevie.
I am.
Shaka, are you going to have a day off soon? Are you off tomorrow?
I just camp here.
I'm off tomorrow. I'm going to work on digging out to this tunnel.
Oh, yeah, enjoy that. The Shaw Shaka redemption continues. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.